Team Thailand Honda Civic TCR, and he was unable to record a lap time, so he will start rear field. If you recall, round 4 of the championship here 3 weeks ago, he charged from the second row to lead into turn 1 and go on to win his first round of the season. Of course, 4 winners from the 4 rounds we've had already this year. Jasper Thong made history by setting the very first pole position and then taking the very first win for the new Audi RS3 LMS TCR for Audi Hong Kong and Phoenix Racing Asia. He did that in round 3. Round 2, Diego Moran, who's the championship points leader, he took the victory for the Quality Team Extra on that first round at Sepang earlier this year, back in March. It was Cantadi Kasiri, who many thought, alongside Tin Srichray, would start as the championship favourite for the 2017 season. So coming in, as we say, Diego Moran, we saw it just briefly there, leading the championship points on 74. Cantadi Kasiri, Guamoli Team Engsler teammate, 73. Tin Srichray, 3rd overall in the championship race, courtesy of that great victory here in round 4 at Zhuhai. Welcome to Zhuhai International Circuit for rounds 5 and 6 of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. We're at the first permanent circuit built in China. That was back quite a few years back, 21 years ago, 1996 it was first opened. 4.319 kilometres, 14 turns. We were, of course, here 3 weeks ago for rounds 3 and 4 of the championship. When that happened, Jasper Thong, the 17-year-old Audi star from Audi Hong Kong and Phoenix Racing Asia, took the maiden pole position and maiden victory, first ever worldwide, for the new Audi RS3 LMS TCR. The second race won by Tin Srichray. Now, in qualifying yesterday, Tin Srichray sadly didn't complete a lap. He went off the circuit in the Team Thailand Honda Civic TCR and was unable to record a lap. So he will start at the rear of this field. But pole position, well, that went to his title rival, the man who's just 1 point off his teammate, Diego Moran, at the top of the championship points table. And that is, of course, Cantadi Boom Kasiri for the Liqui Moly Team Engsler operation. Abdul Katir, brilliant drive. You'd see him just rolling through there in the yellow and, well, I'm not sure what colour you'd call it, certainly not beige, but yellow and silver Honda Civic TCR. He qualified in position 2. Alongside him, his teammate, WS Lai. This is the car in the foreground, right of the number 23 Katir car. WS Lai and Abdul Katir running at the front in the first leg of qualifying, but in the second leg that sets the top 8 order, Kasiri came out on top in very damp conditions, 150.249. Katir, brilliant job by the Malaysian driver for our engineering, 151.120. Remembering, of course, he is a TCR Cup driver. His teammate, WS Lai, was 3rd, 151.623, half a second off the pace of his teammate. And then Diego Moran, the championship points leader, driving the number 32 Liqui Moly Team Engsler Volkswagen Golf GTI TCR, qualified in position 4. Then it was Sean Thong. We're used to hearing the name Sean Thong, but it is more related to GT3 competition. Of course, raced in the Audi TT Cup, a one-make championship in Europe, a couple of seasons ago, won a round at the Norris Ring circuit, very testing circuit in very, very damp, wet conditions. So that may well work well for him. Now, these days, he's known very much as a specialist, driving an Audi R8 LMS GT3 for Audi Hong Kong and Phoenix Racing Asia. He makes his debut this weekend in the Audi RS3 LMS TCR, alongside, of course, his 17-year-old brother, who has that iconic record of being the first man to set a pole position and take a victory for a car that is surely going to go on and do big things in the TCR competition worldwide. Jasper Thong alongside his brother Sean on the 3rd row. Then it is the 2 Viper Nisa Racing Seat Leons. Douglas Koo, position number 7. A season high for him. Good job by the Malaysian driver and his teammate. Well, it's a driver that we spoke a lot about in season 2016, a driver that actually competed against Douglas Koo, driving in a Volkswagen Golf last year. Bill O'Brien, somewhat of a specialist, the American driver, around this circuit. Of course, his Black Arts racing team is based here at Zhuhai. Behind them, that was the twin cars from the Elegant Racing team. Alex Liu took position number 9 in qualifying. Eric Kay bringing up rear of field, still having a fairly testing time with his return to TCR after such a great result right back in May 2015 during the first ever event for TCR Asia. Eric Kay, in a cameo appearance for the Craft Bamboo Racing team, managed to make the podium. Since that stage, he's had less luck. And speaking of a lack of luck, Tin Srichrai, unfortunately for him, unable to record a lap time, and he will start at the rear of this field. So if we quickly go to championship points, as a result of Zhuhai last time round, Diego Moran's championship points lead was cut to just a solitary point. Candide Kasiri, very consistent here last time, finished in of course, second and third in the 2 races. He winds up with 73 points as a result of that. So he's just 1 point off the championship points lead. Tin Srichrai, by virtue of winning that 4th round here at Zhuhai, sits on 67 points. WS Lai, the Malaysian, doing such a good job on his debut in TCR this year. They haven't travelled outside of Malaysia to compete before, and both he and Abdul Katir are doing a very, very good job. That is Candide Kasiri's car on screen. The lovely KW Suspension girls. KW Suspension's a great supporter of Motorsport Asia, certainly in the past GT Asia and now the TCR Asia Series. Great to see them represented down on the grid. That is Abdul Katir, who will start from position 2. He is 6th in this championship, immediately behind Jasper Tong, who took victory in round 3 and really leapt up the championship points order. 58 points. He is in position 5. Abdul Katir, 50 points. They too are battling for the TCR Cup title. In 7th position, Alex Liu for the Elegant Racing team. Douglas Koo is in position number 8. Eric Kay, we were talking about him earlier, position number 9. And rounding out the 10 is SK Tong, who had been campaigning the tarmac-supported Audi RS3 LMS TCR for Phoenix Racing Asia. Business commitments have kept the Hong Kong driver away from this weekend. So we'll see the 2 cars representing Phoenix Racing Asia. There they are on screen. Sean Thong in the gold and black car. That car was famously campaigned by Alex Fong, the entertainer, former Olympic swimmer from Hong Kong last time round. That brought an awful lot of attention to the TCR series last time round, and an awful lot of attention to the Audi Hong Kong team. Jasper Thong alongside him, the first man ever to win a race with the Audi RS3 LMS TCR. Position 11 in the championship is Alex Fong. We're just talking about him. And Sean Thong is currently sitting towards the end of the championship points, having qualified very strongly inside the top 5. That, of course, gives him a single championship point. There is KC Thong, the father of the 2 legendary young Hong Kong drivers. Jasper Thong, only 17 years of age. Sean Thong, 21, the reigning Pro-Am Cup champion from the 2016 GT Asia Series, and currently competing in a range of championships, including the Audi R8 LMS Cup, where he's a podium finisher at Sepang just 2 weeks ago. In fact, that's a lie. It was only a week ago that Sean Thong was on the podium for the Audi R8 LMS Cup, and here he is this weekend behind the wheel for the very first time of an RS3 LMS TCR, and it's been a baptism of fire given the changeable conditions the teams have faced over the last few days. There is Tin Srichrai, strongly supported by his family, very tight unit. Started this season in the car that Philippe de Souza ran for Liquid Team Molly last year. It, of course, ran in the Team Thailand colours for the opening event of the 2017 season at Sepang, but they switched back to the Honda Civic TCR for the second event, and that gave the young Thai driver Tintin, gave him victory in round 4 of the championship. That will be the 5-minute board. So last time round, Jasper Thong took victory over Candide Kasiri and Terry Huang from the Tianchi Racing team. That operation's here running in a GT car this weekend, one of the support categories. race 2, or round 4 of the championship, was Tin Zhuhai from Philippe de Souza. Of course, we remember Philippe from last year in the second of the Liqui Team Engstler cars. He jumped into the Macau David racing car for Vongseng Racing and was electric, is the only way he could describe it, during the closing stages of round 4, and charged from something like 20 seconds down to be right under the rear wing of Tin Zhuhai in the closing laps, but unfortunately went down to turn 9, and he said suddenly all the grip that I'd had that allowed me to close in on these guys had disappeared, and he said he was lucky to keep the car out of the gravel trap, managed to rejoin immediately ahead of WS Lai, retain the position, cross the line in position 2, but he was a real standout on his cameo appearance in the 2017 TCR Asia Series. Crews leaving the grid, getting ready to go around for their sighting lap, and they will make a start for round 5 of the TCR Asia Series. Of course, the 3rd season of TCR Asia. First season, Michael Choi was the champion. Second championship season, championship won convincingly by Liqui Team Engstler's Andy Yan. And now we are well into season number 3. And it is a very, very tightly contested event. Perhaps no surprise with the credentials and the experience of Liqui Team Engstler that they are currently 1-2 in this championship. They certainly dominated the 2016 series with 5 victories from 10 starts. And it's looking very much deja vu so far this season. But, as we say, 4 rounds down in the books now for the 2017 championship, and there have been 4 separate winners. One of those is the man that will start from pole. Second in this championship, down by just a solitary point, and that is the young Thai, Kantadi Kasiri. Interesting to see too, his brother, Kantasak, just last week ran in the Asian Le Mans Series in Sepang in Malaysia, and was part of the victory for an Audi R8 LMS GT3 team alongside Biran Bhakti. They did a fantastic job across the 2 one-hour sprint races for the first round of the Asian Le Mans Sprint Cup. But now it is back to being Kantadi's time. For round 5, can he press on and take away the advantage that Diego Moran has had? Diego's not having the greatest of times here at Zhuhai. Not a particularly testing circuit. Certainly experience does play a part. Drivers like Jasper Thong, based across the Pearl River. Hong Kong is just a relatively short ferry trip away from here, within an hour. A lot of those Hong Kong-based drivers do call Zhuhai home. A lot of testing done here in a variety of different categories, but certainly experience does play a part. Last time we were here, that was the debut event for Diego Moran, the Ecuadorian, here at Zhuhai, and he admitted too, like the Twin R Engineering Honda drivers, that braking was the one thing that they were suffering most, more particularly for Moran braking into the final corner, which we can see in the background there. Of course, last time we were here, he unfortunately threw the car off the circuit on the exit of the final turn during qualifying, and that really messed up his weekend, but he retains the championship pointless lead as a result of that. There he is, the 4th car in line. WS Lai is a little bit further back from his starting box, but of course they won't start from here. They will go around and complete another sighting lap and prepare for the start of round 5 of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you keep up to date with the TCR Asia Series this year through Facebook, facebook.com/TCR Asia Series, one word. Same with Twitter. Get involved in the discussion on Twitter. And of course the website for the series. Where you will find a lot of information as the weekends www.asia.tcr/series.com as we get ready to fire away. The weather conditions, well, they're warm, very, very humid, very steamy in this part of the world. Certainly a lot of rain around in the last couple of days. We go through the grid. Kennedy Kasiri on pole, Abdul Katir for our engineering in the Honda Civic, TCR from Jazz Motorsport. Position number 2, his teammate, WS Lai, the Malaysian. Position number 3, Diego Moran, the championship points leader. Sean Thong, position number 5, alongside his brother, Jasper Thong, both racing for Audi Hong Kong this weekend. Then there's the twin, Vipanese Racing, Saad Leons, and Douglas Koo, team boss, and Bill O'Brien making a return to the championship. Good to see him back. Alex Liu, the number 9 Elegant Racing team entry, and Tin Sritro from Team Thailand, and for some reason, this opening race for round 5 of the championship. Great to see those two gorgeous Audi RS3 LMS TCRs. Of course, no sooner had Jasper Thong won here in round 3 than there was a string of victories for the new Audi in Europe. And if you take GT3 as a benchmark, certainly one of the most, if not the most successful GT3 car over recent years, certainly in sales and on-track success, you would say it was the Audi R8 LMS GT3. So Audi will be hoping that they can emulate that success with the new LMS TCR touring car. And certainly teams all over the world have been placing orders. There's been quite a dramatic number of Audis sent to different parts of the world. We had 4 of them here, in fact 5 of them here last time round. Date clashes with other events have kept the Tianchi racing cars from a reappearance. And of course Alex Fong, his full-time job is as an entertainer, so he was unable to take part. He was originally scheduled to start this second event at Zhuhai, of course, from just across the Pearl River in Hong Kong. Now the cars form up for the standing start. 30 minutes the race duration. 11 laps is what is scheduled. Let's see what Kennedy Kasiri can do. If he can do what he did at the opening round at Sepang, he could drive away from this field, but keep a close eye on Sean Thong a little bit further back in this field in the number 3 gold and silver car. Very experienced GT campaigner, a race winner. He knows how to get around this circuit, and the conditions are dry. We saw how well the Audis went last time when we had dry conditions here. So keep a close eye on those two Audis. Lights are on. When the lights go out, we're away. Good jump by Kennedy Kasiri. WS Lai, looks like a lot of wheel spin. Sorry, that was Abdul Katir on left of screen. WS Lai was able to tuck in under his teammate's rear wing. Now, what's happened there? We've seen all sorts of drama for the pole sitter. Maybe he's had a technical fault off the line. As Douglas Koo muscles his way through on his teammate, but it looks like Alex Liu has managed to get through and become the lead of the 3 Seat Leons. As the 2 our engineering cars have muscled through on the run down to turn 4. WS Lai's got up the inside, forced his teammate wide, and that too has allowed Jasper Thong into position number 2. So the younger of the 2 Thongs is the one that is on the move. Kennedy Kasiri is underway, but there's no pace in that car. There is tyre marks on the right-hand side on the door of the car, but I don't imagine that would be the reason why he's travelling around so slowly. So this has opened up the championship again. Sean Thong, we pointed out before this race, he's a mover. He's up to position 4. So the 2 Audis from Audi Hong Kong have moved to position number 2 and position number 4. So WS Lai, can he hang on? He's learnt a lot from the last experience around here at Zhuhai. Can he hang on now to work his way back into this championship equation? Yeah, that's desperation for Kennedy Kasiri. This is not how you put a championship together, and this is a very, very, very rare failure, if in fact it has been technical, for the Liquimoly Team Engstler operation. Very, very experienced worldwide, and of course those Volkswagens have proven to be very versatile and very strong. So we'll find out between races before we come back to you for this afternoon's race as to what happened to Kennedy Kasiri. It looks like he's back under power. Maybe you need to reset systems and get going. No, still no pace for the young Thai star. Disappointing for him. No, seems to have got it now. He's actually back and attacking. He's got a big job ahead of him as WS Lai leads his field away. Both the Audis have got the lights flashing. They want through. Sean Thong going to try the crossover on Abdul Katir, unable to do that. And he sticks into position number 4. So WS Lai leads by 0.4 of a second over Jasper Thong. And it's his teammate, AK. And behind AK is Sean Thong. But Jasper Thong, what a great start from position 6 on the grid to be second into the first turn and monstering the rear of the R Engineering Honda Civic of WS Lai. He has been a real revelation. Of course, a touring car star in his home country. He and AK regularly share the wheel of a variety of machines running for R Engineering. They're often at the top of the Malaysian Championships. And this is their first full foray into some of Asia's leading circuits and certainly into the Chinese market. They did a great job so far in this championship. And WS Lai currently 4th in the championship. And AK battling hard with the man in position 2 in this race, Jasper Thong, for the TCR Cup title. But a great drive by Jasper Thong so far. He's really come on strong and under the guidance of his older brother, but certainly Phoenix Racing Asia co-team principal Marchie Lee. He has learnt an awful lot. Loves this circuit, very, very fast in the dry. Sadly, not so great in the wet, but we hope for his sake that the weather conditions, or for all the drivers' sakes in that regard, that the weather conditions stay consistent. There's nothing worse than changeable weather upsetting the rhythm of a race. So across the line to complete the second lap, WS Lai continues to lead. 0.4 of a second still. AK position 3. Sean Thong's going to take a dive down the inside into turn 1 and does it. Pulls that move off. It's now Audi Hong Kong cars. Jasper Thong second. Sean Thong position number 3. Diego Moran there in the 32 Liqui Moly Team Engsler Volkswagen. Continues around in position 5 a little bit further back. Now what's Sean Thong got for his younger brother? Will his younger brother let him through? Will he act as tail gunner to protect the rear of the number 5 car? Number 39, WS Lai. Number 5, Jasper Thong. Number 3, Sean Thong. Number 23, the R Engineering car of AK. And then the number 32, Liqui Moly Team Engsler Volkswagen Golf GTI TCR of championship points leader, Diego Moran. Now, Kennedy Kasiri seemingly out of this race. Seems to be circulating still. Shown has completed 1 lap. Doesn't appear to be in pit lane. He's clocking up sectors on the timing monitor. Hopefully for the young Thai star, he can gain some valuable knowledge if he's unable to compete in this race. Now, of course, if we have a safety car intervention for any reason, the field bounces back up again. He is back in this race. There's still plenty of time. But what we've seen over the course of the last 2 and a bit seasons of the TCR Asia Series is these guys race hard, but they race fair, and they give plenty of racing room. We don't see that luxury quite as often in the international series, but certainly in the Asian series it's been very competitive, but also very, very tidy. As Jasper Thong comes comfortably through the final corner. Doesn't appear to have made up much ground, but certainly Sean Thong, fastest man on the circuit last time round. He has ranged up onto the tail of his brother. And Diego Moran, too, an impressive lap last time round. 1:46.8. Pace is a little bit quicker, but that's brought him into now tucking in, getting a little closer to the tail of the number 23 car of AK. Just behind them, position number 6. That looks like Tin Srichray, who started rear of this field. He needs to keep his championship going. He is in this hunt, currently position number 3, 67 points, 7 points down on Diego Moran. If he can catch the Ecuadorian driver and get through, the Thai driver will put himself in a comfortable position in this championship. If WS Lai takes top points, that would be the 5th winner this season if it ends this way. And he will be right back in the championship points hunt and quite possibly leading at the close of this race if the positions stay the same as they are now. 3 laps down, 11 laps to go for round 5 of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. Now make sure if you've got any questions about the TCR Asia Series, that you fire them to us here through either Facebook or Twitter, and we'll do our level best to get answers from the teams, from the manufacturers, or in fact from the drivers. during the course of this weekend and across the season for the 2017 TCR Asia Series. As lights flashing from Sean Thong. Let's try a little bit of intimidation on the younger brother and just see how well that goes. But Jasper Thong showed under huge pressure. Oh, that is Douglas Koo off the circuit. That's disappointing. He was doing so well in the battle with Bill O'Brien. Position 7 at that point. He was next online. That position now looks like it has gone to the Elegant Racing Team, and that looks like a replay. No, that's Bill O'Brien having a spin. That's the second of the Viper Nisa Racing cars. He's a little bit further back. Position number 10, and certainly that won't have done his forward progress any good at all. The good news here is that Kennedy Kasiri is still clicking out laps. Now, what happened? He just went in too hot into the final corner, and geez, nice job too by Eric Kay to make sure he avoids them. In fact, that was possibly Alex Liu, because now Eric Kay has moved up to position number 7. And Alex Liu on screen, you can see trailing a little bit of debris, or that may be part of the rear diffuser. We'll get to have another look at the tail end of the car. It may be the under tray at the rear that helps to pass the air out the back of these TCR cars. A little bit of damage as Abdul Katir now seems to be applying a little bit more pressure to the tail of Sean Thong. Don't need to be putting wheels off like that, Jasper Thong. Those hard-wearing Michelins do a very good job. There's not a lot of grip when you get out off the racing line and over the edge of the curb, so be mindful you don't go too far out. AK, what a great job he's doing. These two R Engineering drivers really are putting in an impressive performance. This is just the third event of the 2017 season, and they've shown to be a real powerhouse. Admitted they didn't have a lot of experience with TCR, they didn't really know what to expect, but supported by Jazz Motorsport, who build these very impressive Honda Civic TCR cars, they have been a real standout so far this year. WS Lai, his car brand new at the start of this season. AK's car, that had done a little bit more mileage, had been a test car in Asia, completely rebuilt by Jazz Motorsport at the start of this season, and that car is showing to be every bit as competitive as any. I mean, this is great. Here we are, 5 laps down into this race, and it is a race. There's nothing separating these guys, and they are going hard. You see wheels going off the edge of the circuit. That's when drivers are pushing to the absolute limit. The pace is not too bad. It's not quite the pace we saw when we were here last time, 3 weeks ago, when the weather was warmer and dry. We still have lost a little bit of speed coming out of that part of the circuit. It's down at turn 11, Jasper Thong. In fact, that was turn 7. We're now heading through turns 9 and 10. So seems to have lost a bit of speed. Now he's starting to run a bit more of a protective line. Now worry about, and certainly Marchie Lee will be telling him, 2 wheels off the circuit again, pushing a little bit too hard perhaps. Focus on what's in front of you. He was under immense pressure from Kennedy Kasiri during round 3 of the championship here, and weathered the storm over almost half of the race. Kasiri got alongside him a few times. He gave him a push. He did everything he could to distract him. Weaved behind him, flashed the lights, and Jasper Thong weathered all that, focused on what was going on in front of him, admitted that afterwards he's got a problem. That's why he was going slowly. He's heading towards pit lane. Jasper Thong, unfortunately too, out of this race. That opens the door now for Sean Thong to push through to position number 2. Frustration for Jasper Thong, the winner of round 3 of the championship. First ever Audi driver to take a pole position or a win in the new LMS TCR, and he unfortunately is in pit lane. Now, I don't suppose there's been a drive-through penalty. Can't see anything much on screen. 46 dead, fastest lap by Sean Thong on lap 3. The monitors are showing me. Unfortunately, looking at the monitors, a bit like looking through a snowstorm. I can't quite make out numbers, much less positions. But anyway, we will work with this and see where we're up to. Certainly the graphics coming through from Motorsport Asia crew who do the production for the TCR Asia Series. We're getting well updated as to how this race is unfolding. And Sean Thong is the one that could really press hard here now. Very experienced driver. He's not quite a veteran at 21 years of age, but he's done a lot of mileage in GT3 cars. 2-time starter in the Nürburgring 24-hour race. Won't be there this year with Marchi Lee, Alex Young and Frankie Chung. Unfortunately for them, got other commitments here at home, but this year doing double duty between the GT Series Asia Championship and also the Audi R8 LMS Cup. Been on the podium in both those championships, in the opening round of both those championships at Sepang in Malaysia, and stepped in to fill a role with Audi Hong Kong. Of course, an ambassador like Marchi Lee for Audi Hong Kong. Sean Thong, one of the more experienced drivers in Asia. The next generation of drivers really gained some ground with a slightly different line into the final corner. A bit of a slingshot to catch onto the tail of WS Lai. Half a second behind now. Still circulating very, very quickly. 1:45.9 last time round. Fastest lap of the race for Sean Thong as he closes into the tail of WS Lai. Eric Kay for position in the Elegant Racing Seat Leon. So Jasper Thong up to position number 7. One wonders what that was all about. Was there perhaps a jump start? We'll find out after this session. I'll certainly keep you updated via the website and through Facebook as to exactly what has taken place and the reason why Sean Thong was forced down pit lane. He didn't seem to have stopped long enough for the team to assess anything, so we could perhaps assess that he may have been a little too eager off the start, certainly second by the exit of turn 1. That was a pretty impressive run off row 3. Now Sean Thong's using all of the circuit and a little bit more in his pursuit of race leader WS Lai. It would be a dream run for him if he could come through and take victory. So too WS Lai. Let's not take anything away from the Malaysian driver, the boss of the R Engineering team. Very successful at home, very experienced touring car campaigner. Debut season in TCR Asia and debut on many of these circuits. His first event at Zhuhai was when we were here 3 weeks ago, and he ran very, very strongly in both dry and wet conditions. Was not a driver phased by the heavy rain and the changeable conditions, probably because of his experience at home in Malaysia. Certainly Sepang can dish out some very testing weather. Abdul Qatir still right in this hunt too. So for the R Engineering crew, this is a great advertisement for the performance of the Honda Civic TCR. If we look for Tin Srichrai, he is in position 5. But something like 22 seconds down on this battle at the front of the field. So still some sort of drama for the young Thai driver as we get to past the halfway mark of this 5th round of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. And here's Tin Srichrai into pit lane. Now, if I put the commentator's curse on him, no sooner, oh no, left front tyre down. That may have been an issue he's been carrying for a while, but certainly there is no rubber, no Michelin rubber left on the left front. In fact, that seems to have caught the team completely unawares. They weren't ready for him to come in or have a tyre ready to go on that car. So for the Team Thailand driver, just like his compatriot, Kennedy Kasiri, who's still circulating, he is shown as 11th. In fact, no, he's not. Well, yes, he is. No, 7 laps in the books. Race leaders, 8 laps down. Kennedy Kasiri's just crossed the start-finish line behind me. So he has chalked up another lap. So he's still running. So the 2 young Thai drivers, both of whom were factored in as favourites for this 2017 season of the TCR Asia Series, are striking trouble. That's opened the door for this man, WS Lai, to sneak through, and he could effectively be the championship points leader. Now, Sean Thong, you want to be very, very careful with that. You haven't gained anything from that, but all 4 wheels off the circuit is not going to be looked upon too well by the stewards. You haven't gained any advantage, that's the one thing, but the other thing you need to be very careful of is losing traction. You would know that. As I say, he's done an awful lot of GT3 competition. Phoenix Racing Asia and Audi Hong Kong competing yesterday too in the China GT Championship with 2 immaculate, beautiful liveries from Berserk Design. 2 immaculate Audi R8 LMS GT3s. Didn't have the best of weekends in the first round of the China GT Championship, but certainly compete right across Asia and compete at the very front and the top of every championship they enter. The 2nd season of Phoenix Racing Asia. Marchi Lee, co-team principal with Germany's Ernst Moser. Ernst will be on the telephone after this race for an update, and no doubt to talk to his two young drivers to ensure that they maximise their performance. You may need to talk to Jasper Thong about how quickly he's managed to start. Of course, the very first standing start for Jasper Thong at Sepang was an unmitigated disaster. He went away and did his homework. He qualified on pole for round 3 of the championship. His one concern before the race was he able to get off the line? And it was a brilliant start, almost perfect. Little bit of wheel spin. You could see the telltale tyre smoke off the line. But it was a brilliant start for the 17-year-old, and he used that to his advantage to drive away from the field initially before Kennedy Kasiri put him under fire towards the end of the race, but weathered every storm, Mother Nature not included in this instance, and took the victory. As WS Lai chalks up another lap. Doing a great job. Sean Thong seemingly now has nothing for him. AK perhaps settling into a comfortable third position, and this result will give him the lead of the TCR Asia Cup. So for AK, as one of the Cup drivers, Jasper Thong, another of the Cup drivers who was sharing the points lead coming into this round, this will give AK a clear advantage as we head to round 6 this afternoon. Make sure you join us after 4 o'clock this afternoon. Current time here is 11:30, so in just under 5 hours we will be going racing again for the 6th round of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. WS Lai continuing to lead. Seemingly comfortable, but 4 laps to go as Sean Thong used his years of experience with GT3 competition to be able to settle his tyres down and be able to mount a late charge and take the lead of this race away. Regardless whether it's first, second or third who comes through from this race to take victory, it will be the 5th different race winner from 5 rounds for the 2017 TCR Asia Series, and that's exactly what any race promoter wants to see. You don't want one team dominating a whole championship, you want to see racing, and that's what TCR competition worldwide is all about. It's a mixed bag. It's relatively unpredictable. It's racy, it's competitive, and it's fantastic to watch. As WS Lai leads in the number 39 R Engineering Honda, Sean Thong in the number 3 Audi Hong Kong, RS3 LMS TCR, and of course Abdul Katir in the 2nd of the R Engineering Honda Civic TCRs. 4 laps to go for the race, in fact 3 laps to go for the race leader. Retains that lead, only 0.6 of a second now, still enough. It's one thing to catch the rear of another car on a circuit that's not particularly filled with overtaking opportunities using all the circuit, Sean Thong. There are a couple of good opportunities to make a diving pass, but certainly not from 0.6 of a second back. WS Lai 2, as we say, experienced touring car campaigner. He's used to people throwing cars up the inside and the outside and over the top of him. So he no doubt will be prepared for what Sean Thong has to offer. But Sean Thong, again, very experienced GT campaigner. Sometimes he needs to use cunning and a little bit of black magic to try and massage an overtaking move. Certainly in the GT3 world, where his rivals are often in cars that perform very differently, whether being able to accelerate out of corners, whether to be able to brake later, all those sorts of things. So he has a fair arsenal in his toolkit on how to make these cars work properly. And Sean Thong may have something in reserve, but he really is pushing. I mean, to see a car off the circuit like that so much, you know these drivers are right on the ragged edge. Yet WS Lai still looks silky smooth. He doesn't seem to be really having to push that number 39 R Engineering Honda harder than he needs. As they say, a win's a win. Even if it's a 1/1000th of a second, it is a victory. Of course, every driver wants to dominate and drive away. But at the end of the day, the history books will show if you are the race winner, you are the race winner, regardless of the size of that win. 0.8 of a second now. 2 laps to go. WS Lai, this will be celebrated across Malaysia. The R Engineering driver, team boss, very popular at home, but admits wasn't sure what to expect from the TCR Asia Series. Well, what he can expect is 5 rounds in, he will be a race winner. Jazz Motorsport, this is a great result too for them Honda. It certainly played second fiddle a little bit in season 2016 to the Mitre Volkswagen. But this year, they are well and truly back. Further back, Diego Moran. 11 seconds back from this race lead battle. Championship points leader coming in. Held an advantage of some 11 points over WSLI. WSLI will take 25 points as a result of this. In fourth place, that will be 12 points. So 13 points, the deficit will be made up if the order stays like this. So that could put WSLI to the lead of this championship and really make it a race. Kennedy Kasiri, position number 10. Team Thailand, tragically, because Ten Srichai cannot take a trip in the TCR Asia Series. A lot of retirements last year, a lot of frustration in his 2016 season campaign. He was, alongside Andy Yan, considered one of the favourites. He certainly showed the pace. Since he started in TCR, he has shown incredible pace. So too Kennedy Kasiri. But they are going to finish 10th and 11th. For Team Thailand, they were unable to send the car back out on circuit. Oh, now Sean Thong's really closed in. This is the final lap. Oh, he's got something in the bag. You're not going to go around the outside, but that may give him the slingshot on the exit. And the run down to turn 4. Is there an overtaking manoeuvre here? It's very, very close. Will it come down to turn 4? Suddenly things have come alive. There's nothing in this now. Sean Thong, with his years of GT3 experience, WSLI, his years of touring car experience, protects. Is it going to be the crossover? Avoid contact. Side by side, the Honda versus the Audi. This is the last half of a lap. Is Abdul Katir in the box seat? Can he pick up if the two in front of him make any kind of error? WSLI running a very, very protective line. Sean Thong, nothing that he can do as he goes around there. This is the last lap of the 5th round of the championship. Side by side, he's going to do it. He's going to have the run. He's being squeezed by the Malaysian driver. Coming on down 2 odds. Turn number 9. He's still got the inside line. Sean Thong's going to try and protect. They're giving each other race room. Contact. They're both off. Abdul Katir's going to take the victory. Look at this. They're both out. WSLI, can he rejoin? Sean Thong's dream debut has come to an end in the gravel. And Abdul Katir, AK, is going to take victory. He won't believe this. He celebrates a podium. Can you imagine what he's going to be like winning this race outright? The number 23 team, they will be rejoicing in Malaysia as a result of this. Sean Thong, what frustration. He tried everything he could. Look at the emotion in that. I think the door's shut, Sean. I think you'll be all right. Very disappointed, very passionate driver. He had this race win within his sights. But for AK, that is a fantastic victory. As we said, didn't matter which of these 3 won. It is your 5th winner of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. And hey, it looks like Diego Moran has lived on again as the championship points leader. WSLI finishing just ahead of him. That is a very, very angry young driver from Hong Kong. Sean Thong, very, very emotional. You can see it on his face. The poor kid, he did everything he needed to. And this is part of the passion of motorsport. He's not angry at WSLI. He'll be angry at the situation that saw him forced wide and off this circuit. He wants to win every time he goes out the gate. Very experienced driver. He knows to deal with his emotions, and he'll certainly be calmed down by the time he gets back to the pit garage. Very clever young driver. He is one of the future stars of the Asian motorsport scene. But unfortunately for him, that dream debut in the TCR Asia Series isn't going to happen. Now, where did Jasper Thong end up? Well, after all of that, the 17-year-old has come through in position number 4. Diego Moran, the Ecuadorian, will finish again on the podium, but certainly that is a 1-2 finish for the R Engineering Honda team, and a great result in just their 3rd event of the 2017 season. Their maiden full-time campaign competing outside of Malaysia. The 2 drivers who often race together in the Malaysian series are going to stand tall, 1-2 on the podium. Congratulations to them. Good drive for Diego Moran. Quite clearly, he didn't have the car he needed underneath him today. But despite that, he put himself on the podium. Continues to lead the championship. You lead championships and you win championships by being consistent. Diego Moran didn't panic. He didn't do anything silly. And he's wound up with a valuable haul of championship points in the number 32 Liqui Team Engstler Volkswagen Golf GTI TCR. 5th place overall, Eric Kwong. Now there's a good recovery. We talked about at the start of this round that he's not had an awful lot of luck this season. He debuted at the very first event of the TCR Asia Series back in 2015. That was at Sepang in Malaysia, driving a Seat Leon for Craft Bamboo. It was a cameo appearance, a one-off, and he finished on the podium, was one of the front runners. Alex Liu was also at that event. He finished quite strongly. So the two Elegant Racing teams, this is their best result of the season so far, finishing in positions 5 and 6. Bill O'Brien recovers for position 7 after that big lurid spin after his teammate Douglas Koo had gone off ahead of him just a few corners before. Kennedy Kasiri, position number 9. Manages to get back onto the lead lap. Won't be a lot of championship points for the young Thai driver, but there he is. Look at that, the emotion. AK very, very happy with his win. WS Light too. I mean, they have to be impressed for what they have achieved for a young team in Malaysia, stepping out into one of the big leagues in Asia. There's a number of major championships now in Asia, and this is certainly one of them. And to go from running at the front of your home country in a national series into a true international class and run at the front and now win, that is a great result. Temperatures certainly dropped for Sean Thong. He's calmed down now. He's regrouped. He'll be ready to go again this afternoon. He knows how this works. We saw it last weekend in Malaysia for the opening round of the Audi R8 LMS Cup. 3-time champion Alex Young was unfortunately out in the first race, and then he recovered to win the second race. So Abdul Katir takes the win, 14 laps down for R Engineering. His teammate WS Lai, who had been leading for most of this race, position number 2. Diego Moran, the points leader for Volkswagen, position number 3. Then it's Jasper Thong, recovers after that what seemed to be drive-through penalty, is in position number 4. Eric Kay ahead of his teammate Alex Liu for the two Seat drivers, positions number 5 and 6. Then it's Bill O'Brien and Douglas Koo. And tragically for Team Thailand and Tin Srichai fans, a DNF for the young Honda driver. We saw him hit pit lane with the left front tyre torn off the rim. So disappointment for him. Now the one thing we need to do is hope and pray that we see no more wet weather. That had a big impact on the championship points last time we were here 3 weeks ago. We go to a replay, and there's the start. A little bit of wheel spin off the line for AK, the pole sitter. Oh, he wasn't the pole sitter. The pole sitter's rolling off the line. You can see him just at the bottom of the screen there. That was Kennedy Kasiri. A battle for Diego Moran with Jasper Thong. Sideways as AK was forced wide, trailing some of the rear diffuser under the rear of Alex Liu's car. Sean Thong moves into position 3. Big spin in front of Alex Liu for Bill O'Brien. Jasper Thong comes back through the field. Eric Kay takes him for position. Nice slow-mo shot from the crew in front of Jasper Thong's car. And then this was the last lap, half a lap to go. WS Lai and Sean Thong. See the emotion charged in the young 21-year-old from Hong Kong. He's been a race winner a number of times across Asia. He likes to battle. He kept his cool until the final lap and made a big attack on WS Lai. But WS Lai, a very experienced touring car campaigner. He's been under attack like that for years. He knows what to do to counter that. They gave each other a lot of racing room. It went down in the end to turn 9, and there wasn't quite enough room for the two of them. They're both racing for the win. This is what you want. You want close, tight racing. There wasn't any malice from what we could see on screen. I don't expect the stewards will do anything, but that's not my decision, that's theirs. No doubt Sean Thong is just disappointed that he wasn't able to carry through that stunning last lap dive and take that through to victory. But that allowed AK. Farouk has come through for his maiden win, and the first win, in fact, for the R Engineering Jazz Motorsport supported team of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. So Zhuhai International Circuit turns it on again. That's the third great race we have seen here from Zhuhai. And if we could have all rounds of the season, there's 12 rounds of the 2017 championship, then I will be one very, very happy man, because that was exciting. Certainly got a little bit quiet there in the middle of the race, But by the end of the race, the action was there. So here we have it. Diego Moran now keeps that lead as a result of WS Live finishing second and not first. 89 points. 81 to WS Live. Kennedy Kasiri still there, 77 points. Abdul Katir up to 75. He takes the TCR Cup points lead. Jasper Thong, 70 points. Tin Strichroy, disappointment for him retiring, 67. Alex Liu is 7th ahead of his teammate Eric Kay. So that's the way it wounds up. Well, here is the TCR Asia Series cap, Abdul Katir. 120 points to 112. Douglas Koo up to position number 3 now, moves past Alex Liu as a result of that last race. Eric Kay, position 5 from SK Tong and Alex Fong, the 2 Audi drivers. So a very good start to this third event of the 2017 series. Of course, we started in early March at Sepang in Malaysia. We were here 3 weeks ago for rounds 3 and 4. Next event, boy, are we looking forward to that. It is the Bang Sen Street Race. Then we're on to Shanghai in China in late August and through to the final round of the championship on the 6th to the 8th of October at Zhejiang. Make sure you join us this afternoon when we strike for the next event, the 6th round of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. 4:15 p.m. That is in about 4.5 hours' time. We will be underway right here. Catch the stream, catch all the action. I'll go and do a little bit of homework for you now and see what we can find out as to why some of those drivers stopped, why Jasper Thong was forced down pit lane, and exactly how Sean Thong is feeling as a result of that race. Catch up with you a little bit later on in the day. Thanks for joining us.
happy.